So now we need to make the petals. अब हमें petals बनानी है. These are the small petals and here at the bottom we have big petals. So ऊपर जो है ये small petals है और नीचे जो है ये बड़ी वाली petals है. So we need to make 4 of these small petals and then we have 5 big petals. So let's make the small petals now. So we have this piece. This is the head and this is the body, and on the body we worked only in the back loops in these 2 rounds where the front loops are left. So we will use the front loops to make the petals. So ये जो front loops हमने छोड़ी थी इसमें हम petals बनाएंगे. So this is the top round and this is the bottom one. So the top one we'll be using to make the small petals and the bottom one we'll be using to make the big petals. So we'll attach our yarn to any of the loops on the top one to make the small petals. So let's add the yarn. We'll make a slip knot and add the yarn first. तो slip knot बना के हम yarn को add करेंगे. So I'll be going in the top round first, but I'll rotate it and I'll be using it this way. We'll use these front loops to make the petals now. Attach the yarn. And now we'll be chaining 12. तो हमें 12 chains बनानी है. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So we have made 12 chains. हमने 12 chains बना लिए. Now we need to work into the third chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. So we need to work a double crochet stitch into the third chain from the hook. So we'll yarn over, go into the third chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So here we have made a double crochet stitch. In the next chain we need to do an increase. So we'll place 2 double crochet stitches in the next chain. Next chain में हम 2 double crochet stitches करेंगे. 1 and 2 into the same chain. Same chain में हमने 2 double crochet stitches बनाए हैं. Now in the next 4 chains we need to place 1 double crochet stitch. तो हम next 4 chains में एक double crochet stitch करेंगे. 1 in the next, one more. So this is the second double crochet stitch. In the next chain we need to place 1 more. So this is the third double crochet stitch. In the next chain we need to place another double crochet stitch. So this is the 4th double crochet stitch. Now in the next 2 chains we'll place half double crochet stitch, yarn over, go into the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the loops that are on your needle. Then in the next chain again we need to make a half double crochet stitch. And in these last 2 chains we'll make 1 single crochet stitch. So 1 single crochet stitch into the next and 1 single crochet stitch into the last chain. So here we have completed round 1 of the petal, row 1 I can say, row 1 of the petal. And now we need to slip stitch into the next loop that we have here. So we'll go in and we'll slip stitch to the next loop. And I'm working over the yarn tail that's here. Okay, now this is the slip stitch. We don't have to work in the slip stitch in the next row. We have to work only in the stitches. So make sure that you're not working on to the slip stitch, otherwise the shape will change. Now let's start with row 2. Chain 1 and turn your work. Chain 1, turn your work, and in the first 2 stitches we need to make single crochet stitch. So we'll go into the first stitch, make a single crochet stitch, 1 single crochet stitch into the next stitch, 2 into the next 2 stitches we need to place half double crochet stitch. So 1 half double crochet stitch into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet stitch into the next. Now into the next 5 stitches we need to place double crochet stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now in the last stitch we'll place 2 double crochet stitches. Last वाली stitch में हम 2 double crochet stitches करेंगे, 1 and 2. Now chain 2 and turn your work. So here we are starting row 3 for the petal. Now in the first stitch we'll place 2 double crochet stitches. तो पहली वाली stitch में हम 2 double crochet stitches करेंगे, 1 and 2. In the next 6 stitches we need to make 1 double crochet stitch. So next 6 stitches में हम एक double crochet stitch करेंगे, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. In the next 2 stitches we need to place half double crochet stitch, 1 and 1 in the next half double crochet stitch, and in the last 2 stitches we need to place single crochet stitch. So 1 single crochet stitch into the next and 1 single crochet stitch into the last stitch. And now we need to slip stitch onto the body. So we'll slip stitch onto the next loop. So this is the next loop. We'll go in and we will slip stitch here. Now chain 1 and we'll turn. So we'll chain 1, turn your work, and now we'll start with our row number 4. So we need to place, in the first 2 stitches we need to place single crochet stitch, 1 single crochet stitch, 1 in the next. Now in the next 2 stitches we need to place half double crochet stitch, 1 in the next, 1 half double crochet stitch into the next stitch, and now we need to place 8 double crochet stitches in the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now chain 2 and turn your work, and now we'll start with row number 5. Now in row number 5 we need to do a double crochet decrease. तो अभी पहले हमें double crochet decrease करना है. So we'll yarn over, go into the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. We'll have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through 2, and we are not going to finish the stitch. We'll finish it together with the next stitch. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we are left with 3 loops. We'll yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops, and here we have done a double crochet decrease. तो हमने यहाँ पे double crochet decrease किया है. Now in the next 6 stitches we need to place a double crochet stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now in the next 2 stitches we need to place half double crochet stitch, and 1 half double crochet stitch into the next, and in the last 2 stitches we need to make single crochet stitches. So 1 single crochet stitch into the next and 1 single crochet stitch into the last stitch. And now we need to slip stitch onto the body on the next loop. So this is the next loop. So we'll slip stitch here, and chain 1 and turn. So we'll chain 1 and turn our work. And now in the first 2 stitches we need to place single crochet stitch. So 1 single crochet stitch into the first stitch, 1 single crochet stitch into the next stitch, 2 half double crochet stitches into the next 2 stitches. So 1 half double crochet stitch into the next and 1 half double crochet stitch into the next. Now in the next 5 stitches we need to make double crochet stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and the last 2 stitches are left. We need to do a double crochet decrease here. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. We'll not complete this. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all the loops. So here this completes row number 6. Now we'll chain 2 and turn our work for row number 7. Now again we need to do a double crochet decrease. So yarn over, go into the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all the loops that are on your needle. So here we have done a double crochet decrease. Now in the next 4 stitches we need to make double crochet stitch. So 1 double crochet stitch into the next, 1 in the next stitch, 2, 3 and 4. Now in the next 2 stitches we need to place half double crochet stitch. So 1 half double crochet stitch into the next and 1 half double crochet stitch into the next, and into the last 2 stitches we need to place single crochet stitch. So 1 single crochet stitch into the next stitch, 1 single crochet stitch into the last stitch, and now we have to slip stitch on the body. And now we need to slip stitch into the 3 loops that are there. So we'll slip stitch to the first loop that is next to the loop here. So 1 slip stitch, we need to do another slip stitch in the next loop, in the next stitch. So this is the second slip stitch, and in the next loop again we need to do a slip stitch. So we'll go in, this is the third slip stitch. Now from here you have to follow the same pattern that we did for the petal, and you have to make 4 petals like this. So we have already made 1, we need to make 3 more. So you have to follow the same pattern, which is you have to chain 12 and then you have to start from here and then slip stitch onto the body, then next row, then again come, then slip stitch onto the body. You have to complete these 7 rows and then slip stitch 3 times onto the body and start with the next petal. So I'll complete all the petals. You can just see the video again and repeat the same pattern for all the petals and complete 4 petals. And once all the 4 petals are completed, then I'll show you what to do next, because next we need to add the wire on the outer part of the petals so that the petals are sturdy. तो मैं ये बाकी की 3 petals complete कर लेती हूँ. जब 4 complete हो जाएंगे फिर मैं बताऊँगी आगे क्या करना है. आपने same pattern follow करने हैं और बाकी की petals बनानी है. So I'll meet you back here after completing the rest 3 petals. So I've completed making 4 petals. तो मैंने 4 petals बना लिया. I've used the same pattern that I used for the first petal for all the petals, and I've completed the 4th one, and now I'll slip stitch onto the body. So I'll be going in the loop and I'll slip stitch here, and I'll slip stitch onto the next loop में slip stitch करेंगे, and now I'll slip stitch onto the loop from where we started. तो जहाँ से हमने start किया था वहाँ पे slip stitch करेंगे और अपना जो round है वो start करेंगे. And now we have to work around all the petals. So this one round we have to use the metal wire, and we have to work on the metal wire, keeping it around the petal, and we have to start from here going around the first petal, then the second petal, then the third petal, then the 4th petal, and then we'll end our round here where we started. So let's do that now. So this is the metal wire that I'll be using. It's quite thick and it'll keep the petal sturdy. So you can use any kind of metal wire, but make sure that it's thick enough so that it keeps the petal sturdy, and it's easier for you to just rotate the wire. It's not so thick that it's difficult for you to rotate it, because then you can shape it up accordingly for the petals. So now we'll start working on the metal wire so that it keeps our petals sturdy. So we'll start with the slip stitch here. So यहाँ से हम start करेंगे. So we'll make a slip stitch here onto the first stitch and add our wire, then chain 1 single crochet stitch into the next, Now we are working around the petal. So one single crochet stitch, one single crochet stitch into the next, and I'm working over the wire. One half double crochet stitch into the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we need to make 9 double crochet stitches, but we have to make sure that our double crochet stitches end exactly in the middle of the petal so that we can make our picot at the center. तो हमें जो picot है वो center में चाहिए. So we have to make sure that we end our double crochet stitches here before the center. So here we have to make the treble and the picot. So I'll be adding my stitch marker at the center of the petal so that I know that I have to finish my 9 double crochet stitches before I reach my stitch marker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So here this is the portion, because 3.5 we have 7 rows of the petals, so make sure that you're adding it at the center. So this is the 4th row. So I have added the stitch marker on the 4th row. So now we have to make 9 double crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So here we have done 9 double crochet stitches, and now we have reached the point where we have added our stitch marker. Here we need to make 2 trebles, picot and 2 trebles in this one space that we have here, which is the 4th row, I'm sorry. So we'll go in, we'll make a treble. We need to yarn over twice for the treble. Go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Another treble in the same space, chain 1, and we'll go in these 2 loops and make a picot. And then we need to make 2 more trebles in the same space. So yarn over twice, go in, make a treble, yarn over twice, make a treble in the same space again. And now we need to make 9 double crochet stitches. अब हमें 9 double crochet stitches करनी है. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now we need to do 7 half double crochet stitches. तो अब हमें 7 half double crochet stitches करनी है. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now in the next 2 stitches we need to make single crochet stitch. So single crochet stitch in the next stitch, and all throughout I have worked over the metal wire. You can see I've worked over the metal wire, and one single crochet stitch into the last stitch here, and this completes one petal. तो ये एक petal हमारी complete हो गई है. So we have to follow the same pattern that we have followed for this petal, and we have to work around all the petals that we have. तो यही same pattern हमने repeat करना है. And now to go to the next petal, we need to do single crochet stitches here at the slip stitches that we have. So we'll do that. Single crochet stitch here, and then here at the body, and we'll slip stitch to the next petal, and we'll start our round here. So you have to follow the same pattern that we used for this petal, which is chain 1, then 2 single crochet stitches, and then you have to do 7 half double crochet stitches, then 9 double crochet stitches, and make sure that your 9 double crochet stitches finishes at the center, so that you have to make 2 trebles, picot and 2 trebles in the center, so that it's equal, the petal is equal on both the sides, and you have this picot in the center. You have to make sure that you finish your 9 double crochet stitches before the 4th row, and then in the 4th row you have to make 2 trebles, chain 1, picot, 2 trebles, and then you have to repeat 9 double crochet stitches, 7 half double crochet stitches, and 2 single crochet stitches. Then you'll do single crochet stitch here, and then you'll slip stitch to the next petal, and then you'll repeat the same pattern for the other petals. So you have to complete that, and then I'll meet you back here after I complete doing the same pattern on all the petals, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I have finished working around all the petals. मैंने सारे petals के around work कर दिए, and now I've slip stitched to the first stitch from where we started making our petal, and now I'll chain 1 and fasten off. तो मैंने chain 1 करके fasten off कर रही हूँ. Just tighten it up, and we can weave in using a tapestry needle. And here we have these wires coming out, because from here we started and we ended here. So what I'll do is I'll just tie both the ends together. I'll just rotate them together so that it's secured enough and doesn't come out. We'll do that 2 to 3 times. And once we feel that it's secured, then we can cut the extra metal wire that we have here. So here I'm going to cut the extra metal wire that we have here. And now this wire, I'll just push it in the bottom. So this is the head, and this is the body, and this is the bottom part. So I'll just push it in. So I'll just push it in and let it go completely in the bottom part. And don't worry, it won't show, because we need to add the receptacle at the bottom, which is the base of the flower, and we'll have the leaves too, so it won't show. So now we have pushed it in so that it's secured inside and it doesn't poke anyone. So now our tiny petals are lit. This is not tiny, I know it's big enough, but the small petals are done, and now we need to add 5 more petals, which is a little bigger than these. And for that you will have to watch the next part, in which I'll show you how to make the bigger petals. तो ये वाले पार्ट में मैंने ये वाली petals दिखाई हैं जो थोड़ी सी छोटी हैं, और नेक्स्ट वाले पार्ट में आप बड़ी petals देख सकते हो. The reason being for adding the wire is you can just shape it up and it will hold its shape. It's only because we have added our metal wire. If you don't add the metal wire, it won't hold the shape. So adding the metal wire helps the petals to hold the shape. So this is how it is. Now we have completed making the 4 small petals. Now we'll start making the bigger ones in the next part. So see you there, and thanks for watching.